So yesterday we worked on adding positive and negative numbers, well actually integers, using models. Today we are going to be using the algorithm. You can still use the model, however it makes it really different when we're using rational numbers. Why? Well, because rational numbers are integers, decimals, fractions, and their opposites. So with integers, they're whole numbers, and it's easy to be able to draw a whole token or go a whole unit. It makes it more difficult when it's fractional pieces, but we're going to work through that, and you're going to see how to do it using the algorithm. So the algorithm means it's a set of steps to follow. You have an algorithm for division, you have an algorithm for multiplying, now you're going to have an algorithm for adding positive and negative integers and rational numbers. So the very first thing you're going to do is when you get a problem, you're going to look and see if it has the same sign. If it has the same sign, then you're going to do these two A and B tasks, and we'll work through it and I'll show you. So first off, add the absolute value of our numbers. So what does absolute value mean? It means the distance from zero. And that distance from zero is always positive. That's why we use absolute value. So the absolute value of 1 plus the absolute value of 5. Remember, these aren't ones. These are just these lines that show absolute value. So it's 1 plus 5 is 6. So that was step A in our first algorithm. And then we keep the common sign. Common sign? What's the common sign here? Well, remember, any whole number that does not have a negative sign in front of it is considered positive, so it stays positive. Our answer is 6. Now let's go to this one. Do we have two of the same sign numbers, integers? Yes, they're both negative. So I take the absolute value and add, because this says add, which ends up being -1 is 1, -5 is 5, and it ends up being 6. However, now I go to B and I have to keep the common sign. I look and I see, what's my common sign? Well, in my original problem, they were both negatives. So I have to make sure I put this one as negative. Oops, sorry guys. What happened there? I think my elbow hit something. Now let's go on to this one. Down here, we had this one yesterday and we were drawing tokens like crazy. So I'm going to take the absolute value of each number and I have to add them together. So that means that -20 is 20 plus 35, and I end up with 55. My original problem shows that they are the same common sign, so I make sure it's negative. Now here we have rational numbers. These are the decimals. It's the same thing. Now I can do this work. See how I wrote down the absolute value? I can do that mentally, and I can say to myself the absolute value of a -3 7/10 is 3 7/10, and I add the absolute value of 1 4/10. Remember how we add decimals by lining up our decimal points, and then we bring it down. Now I go back and I look. What was my original? Negative. So it's actually a -5 1/10. So now let's take a look at fractions. Fractions, the hardest part of the fractions is making sure that you have equivalent fractions. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. And I have to have common denominators. Now, the common denominator, which is also the common multiple, is 4. Now, whatever I did to 4 to get 4, I do to my numerator. Well, it's like saying I multiplied by 1. So 4 times 1 is 4. So 3 times 1 is 3. And I still keep it as negative. And then I go over here. So this one stays the same because the denominator did not change. Then I go over here and I say, what did I do to 2 to get 4? I multiplied by 2. So whatever I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator. So 1 times 2 is 2, and I keep the negative, and I know I'm adding them. Now, that's just what we learned first quarter. Well, now we need to make sure we add the absolute value. So I'm going to take the absolute value of a negative 2/4 and the absolute value of a negative 3/4, and I'm going to just move them over. And when I add those together, I end up with 5/4. And then I simplify. Now I end up with 1 1/4. However, I'm not done because I need to look at my original. The common sign was negative, so my answer is a negative 1 1/4. Now, what if we have different signs? Here we go. Now, different signs means we have to do different operation. So different signs would be if we had negative and a positive, or positive and a negative. Well, first we subtract the absolute value, then we have to keep the sign of the greater number. So let's take a look. So I take 1 and I subtract the absolute value of a negative 5. Well, 1 minus 5, this is where I can change things up. I can say 5 minus 1 equals 4. The only reason why I can do that is because I'm working with a negative, sorry about that, because I'm working with negative numbers. If you were in first grade, your teacher would say you could never do that. Now you're in sixth grade, you can. So my answer is 4, but now I do B, keep the sign of the greater number. So 5 is greater than 1, and it's negative, so this has to be a negative 4. Next, we did this one yesterday, doing a bunch of tokens. So I have to subtract the absolute value. So I have the absolute value of 8 is 8, and I subtract the absolute value of 26, and I can change the order, and I subtract them, and I end up with 18. However, I go back to the original, and 26 is a greater number than 8, so I make it negative. Let's look at this one. It looks similar, but we have to be careful. So I take the absolute value of 5 minus the absolute value of 1, and I end up with 4. 5 has that invisible positive, so I keep it as 4. Here again, we have the absolute value of 1 1/10, and then I subtract the absolute value of 2 1/4. I can, I'm sorry, 2 4/10. I apologize. And I go ahead and subtract, and I end up with 1 3/10. Is it positive or is it negative? Well, my original problem is positive, so this is what it stays. So let's take a look at our fractions. This one's nice because we already have a common denominator. So I take the absolute value of 5/6 and I subtract the absolute value of 1/6. I end up with 4/6. Now, I have to simplify this. I can simplify it now, or I can put in my sign. It doesn't matter which one. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Here's the sign. So I know it's going to, 5 out of 6 is a greater number than 1 out of 6. So it's going to be negative. But now, these are both positive, I'm sorry, these are both even numbers. So I can divide by 2 for each. And I end up with a -2/3. And there's my answer.